whole world is in my hands.
You foolish man. I am a Jito Ryo master. Allow me to reunite you with your ancestors.
Unbelievable destructive power.
Coincidence? It's more than that. This is fate.
What's up, everyone? Nodoka Yuy here. How you guys doing today? I hope you're having a great day. It's Friday. Welcome to another episode of Noonami. I am your host, Nodoka Yuy. As you can see, my little co-host here, Obadiah. So, yeah, I'm actually here again, second time in a row doing this by myself. So, hey, I'm not really mad about it. This is actually a little bit of a recording, so a little bit early. Got some stuff to do today. Gonna be having some guests over, so it's still gonna be up and running. You guys can check this out still at normal time, 9:30. So, yeah. So there you go. So, hey, buddy, what's going on? Want to say hi to the people? Want to say hi? Want to say hi? Hi, bunny baby. Say hi. Say hi, buddy. There we go. We're getting that smile. There we go. Yeah. So, all right. So let's get into our icebreaker, actually. So my usual icebreaker, as always, what am I currently watching? So what I'm currently watching is I got a chance to watch The Rise of Shield Heroes Season 4, the first episode. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, so he's gonna be kind of messing around with stuff. Yeah, so I got a chance to check out the Rise of Shield Hero Season 4. So that's actually, I like where we're starting right now for this episode. Like I already kind of was expecting some stuff, so I was like, all right, let's see what we get into. And after I saw the trailer, I think previous episodes, to lead into this episode, I was like, wait, why is he in the chair and everything? Why is certain things happening? And I'm like, okay, so we know what's happening, we know what's setting up. And I like where things are leading to, because our main character is trying to take care of something that's very important that needs to be done. And he's kind of got into a roadblock, basically. So I'll just leave it like that. So you have to watch the first episode to see what happened. So if you don't know, definitely I recommend checking out the previous seasons. Definitely season 3 would kind of like help explain what's the situation was happening and everything else. There's that. So let's see what else I watched. I got to check out the second episode, Claritas. I think that's how you say it. I may butcher it, but I actually got to see episode 2. Episode 1 was actually very interesting. And I liked how it's set up, and it is an hour long for the first episode, which I was very surprised. I didn't expect it. Episode 2 definitely set the stage very nicely, and I'm very proud of it. I'm kind of want to look at this picture real quick. Sorry, I want to see something very important. Oh, okay. No, because I'm looking at something and it caught my attention. So because of episode 2, and episode 2 definitely, it was a good episode, and it did have a very sad moment, and I felt like I really felt sad for the person, like for a certain character, and I was like, wow, that's very deep and understood the situation what's happened. So that was actually a very good episode. I'm actually like enjoying that. What else I've watched? I did watch my dress up darling season 2, the first episode. I only have 5 minutes left of it, but I kind of already knew what's going on. So I think this is a whole new art style, I think, kind of, sort of. So it's very interesting. I do still like where it's going, how it's setting up the stages and everything else. So this is actually becoming a very good episode. I'm actually looking forward to a certain specific episode that I can't wait. You're having too much fun, aren't you, buddy? Having fun there, buddy? Yeah, he's just having a blast right now. I think the last one I checked out was one more. Oh, I gotta check that one later. I think the other one was it was this one right here. And I may say this name incorrectly, the first part, but yeah, that was the other episode. No, the other anime is called Rascal Does Not Dream of Santa Claus. So this is the second season, I believe, of the Bunny Senpai. So this is actually the second season. Basically, it takes place after everything has happened. This is actually one of my favorite animes because it's one of those animes you have to kind of pay attention to. And I'm a big fan of, like, there's a lot of things I like of certain animes, and one of them is like the mystery types of animes that you have to literally sit there and pay attention to because of the fact of certain things happen and you don't know what happened. Like, you have to know what's going on and to understand the story and what's going on. So that's a good. Really, buddy. That's one of my other favorite animes. So I'm actually looking forward for the second episode. I think I didn't finish the first episode. I think I had like another 3 to 5 minutes left, but I kind of knew what was going on. So I'm actually looking forward to it. So what's up, buddy? Hi, like baby. He is so hyper right now. He is very, very hyper. You gotta love it. So yeah. But yeah, so that's pretty much I've been watching. Besides actually playing Liza P, the DLC, so I finally got that up and running. But yeah, mostly these are like what I've been watching so far. I still got a lot more to go through. I still have the 7. I don't even say the whole entire thing. I basically call it the 7 Prints. I have that one to work on. Call the Night. I still need to get into. Let's see what else was on the list. A couple of Cuckoos, season 2, which I'm still working on. Season 1, it's like 24 episodes, and I think I'm only halfway of it. What else? There's a lot more I gotta go through, but there's so much, and there's still more to come because I believe next week. I believe it's next week. Let me double check. I believe, and I hope. If not, I know it's next week, but I know it's coming. Where are you? Are you Friday or are you Saturday? Oh yeah, I still gotta watch. I think it's Saturday. Wait, let me see something. 18, 19. 19th is this. So I believe it should be next week. If not, it may be the following because I'm trying to look into it. And I don't see it, but I think it is next. I think it's next week. We're supposed to be getting Kaiju number 8 season 2. We're supposed to be getting that. So I believe that's next week. But other than that, guys, definitely if you guys have any animes that you guys checked out, you recommend, everything else, definitely leave in the comments down below. I will, have a time step for everything I've done from either talk about the whatever each subject's going to be. So other than that, let's get into the news. And I have a good amount of news. If Funny Baby lets me actually do the news, are you gonna let me do news? Huh? You gonna let me do news? You are? Okay. You gonna let me do news? Okay. All right. So first and foremost, before I actually start anything, my eye is being a little weird right now, so it's kind of like I'm looking kind of weird at the moment. So I do apologize. So I may actually, it may take me a minute to read some of these because my son did something to daddy, and it's looking kind of funny. So my vision is kind of a little wonky at the moment. So I do apologize. Yeah, buddy. So let's get into the first of our topic. Really? All right. So the first topic I have here is going to be on Obadiah screaming like it's no tomorrow. Hey, chill, baby. Chill, funny baby. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Chill. He's such a hyper baby. All right, so San Diego Comic-Con to host. Okay, so San Diego Comic-Con, really, to host manga creator. I'm going to try to say this correctly. If not, and I do apologize. Is Kia Asamiya? Yeah, Kia Asamiya. Director Shin. I love you too, buddy. So I'm trying to say this. Yeah. So, anyways, San Diego Comic-Con to host manga creator Kia Asiyama. I may say this incorrectly. I do apologize. So let's see. San Diego Comic-Con and International and Udon Entertainment confirmed that they will be hosting manga creator Kia Asiyama. Asiyama. I apologize if I butchered this. He does basically the Silent Mobius, Steam, Silent Mobius and the Steam Detectives as one of the special guests for this year's event on July 24th to July 27th. Let's see. So pretty much he's going to be on the list at the, I guess it's the Japanese, San Diego Comic-Con. Why am I thinking Japanese? Because I saw the part saying international and everything else. So that's going to be interesting to see him there and everything else. Ooh, hold on. I see some notes coming. Let's see, create a side Mobius. Seems that let's see. Oh, he actually does. Oh, he also does the Nadesco. Oh, wow. He's actually done. Really, buddy. I'm not putting your playpen. You know that, right? You're about to go on your playpen if you don't chill. Relax. I do apologize. He is super hyper. He wants to get moved around. I do not want to put him on the floor because my computer is literally right in front of him. So, yeah. So, relax. Please. Relax for daddy. Okay, thank you. I love you too. So, yeah. So, I'm actually surprised I didn't know he actually does the animation for Nadesco, and that's actually an old anime. So, I'm kind of surprised by that. So, yeah, he's going to be there at San Diego Comic-Con. So there's that. Let's see what we got here. I think I have a couple other ones. Let's see. Oh, I see something caught my attention. I don't like this. There's a couple in here. Let's see. So, as you can tell, okay, so I'm a big fan of like Magical Girls, and I don't know why, because I think because of Sailor Moon and everything else, it's been one of my favorite series. So I kind of branch out and looked at other stuff. There's the spin-off to the Fate Stay Night, which is Ilia. I think it was like I forgot, like something Ilia. But I like that one because it actually has a little bit more of a interesting story with a dark side to it and everything else. It keeps going, which I think I haven't seen the movie, and that's one thing. But there was one anime that I have seen, and it's kind of like a hidden gem. So there's an anime called Magical Girl Lyrical Nanoha. It is a very classic anime. I have seen it. I've seen like all the episodes. I think there was another one that I haven't seen yet. So there's like 3 of them. So I know it's like 3 seasons of it so far. So pretty much it says Magical Girl Lyrical Nanoha 20th anniversary final event to screen picture drama prologue. Really, buddy? Let's see. It says the staff for the 20th anniversary of Magical Girl Lyrical Nanoha franchise announced on Tuesday it will host a final event for the 20th anniversary titled Lyrical Watch Party Red and White, where the prologue picture drama video sets before the story of the Magical Girl Lyrical Nanoha exceeds Gunblade's Revenge anime, and the Magical Girl Lyrical Nanoha exceeds manga will screen. The video will feature voice actress talking over illustration panels. This event will run at the Live Cafe Mika in Tokyo on September 13th to the 28th. So if you're in Japan, you actually check this out, or or actually if you live in Japan or actually at Japan or in Japan, definitely check this out. If you're there around that time, definitely check it out. I would love to see this, because I have not. This is, I think, the series I have not checked out, which is the Gunblade's Revenge, the Exceed and Gunblade's Revenge. I think those are the only 2 I have not seen yet. So I'm very curious about those right there. I'm actually going to look into this right now because I'm actually very curious about it, because I have not heard about this and I actually want to know what's going on. Is there any episodes? No. Okay. I just want to see if they had anything. So yeah, definitely something I want to check out. Let's see. The next one on the news we have, besides Funny Baby, is literally cannot hold still. Oh, hello. This is something new, because it's actually going to lead into our topic we're going to be talking about very soon, but I'll actually bring this up anyways, because I totally did not see this. Okay, so it says here, Anime Expo panels set. Really, buddy? Hi. You want to be Superman today? Want to be Super Baby? Super Baby! He is such... Hi. Anyways, so Anime Expo panel sets Guinness record for the most people perform One Punch Man Serious Punch. Wow, didn't see that coming. I thought it was gonna be something different, but I didn't. Again, my eyes a little weird. Anyways, the One Punch Man franchise announced on July 7th it has achieved a Guinness World Record for the most people performing One Punch Man. And I may butcher his name. Makia Nagura, also known as Serious Punch. The record was set at 1,107 people during the July 5th One Punch Man panel at Anime Expo. So that is impressive. First of all, I didn't even know there was actually I didn't even know there was going to be a Guinness World Record for this. I'm being super honest. I really didn't know. So, but to actually have this is interesting. So, yeah, congratulations. I have nothing bad to say to that. What can I say? I was not expecting that. It's very interesting. So, hey, I'm not gonna complain. Although I kind of wish one of these. I wish I can actually be like. I feel like it's one of those things where it's like I wish I was actually there, not at AX, but be there when someone actually does like the Guinness World Record, for like something outrageous or something you would never expect. So that's one of the things I'm surprised by. So Let's see. I think we can do one more. I think. Let's see. What can we throw? I mean, we got a lot of news to talk about, but I'm not going to be on this. Oh, okay. Man, this is actually good. And so, all right. So basically, we got some more stuff with San Diego Comic-Con. So this is gonna let you guys know. So San Diego Comic-Con to mark Gundam Wing anime 30th anniversary with English cast news. Okay, interesting. Okay, and I feel like saying this name. I feel like saying it this way, but it makes no sense. So Bandai Namco Filmworks announced on Thursday that it will be holding a Gundam show featuring 30 years of Gundam Wing panel at the San Diego Comic-Con International on Thursday, July 24th at 7:15 p.m. at room 6BCF. The guests will include the Gundam Wing English dub cast members. I think I made this wrong. Mark Hidia, who plays Yuy. Scott McNeil, who plays Dual Maxwell. Again, if I say these names, I'm trying the best of my ability to say these names, So, Bragg Sawa, I think, who plays Katra Rababa Winner. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's going to be those. So, basically, it's going to be Hida Yui, Dual Maxwell. The voice actors for Hida Yui, Dual Maxwell, and Katra Rababa Winner are going to be there. It says, as well as Gundam executive producer, Naohiro Ogata. So let's see. Bandai Filmworks is teasing the panel. Let's see. Bandai Namco Filmworks is teasing the panel. Will have the latest update of the Gundam Wing 30th anniversary project, along with the new development from across the Y Gundam series. It will also offer exclusive gifts to attend. If Vito and Sandstorm actually heard about this, or if Vito and Sandstorm heard about this, I feel like 9 times out of 10, like I would tell them like, yo, we need a plane ticket, go to San Diego Comic-Con. We need to go for this now. We are big Gundam Wing fans. We love Gundam Wing more than anything. I'm more of a big Gundam fan in general. I mean, but Gundam Wing has, I think, what got me into the Gundam series, I think, really hardcore was Gundam Wing, and I was a big Hida Yui fan. So, like, I was a very, very big Hida Yui fan. Why you think my name Nodoka Yuy is literally if you don't know where I got the Yui from, is from Gundam Wing. So that's how I came up with the first and my first and last name. So I will go into a history of that one day, displaying where I got my name from and everything else, but I'm not going to go to that. So yeah. But yeah, when it comes to like the Gundam series, it's definitely Gundam Wing definitely goes on the top of the list with Endless Waltz. Endless Waltz is definitely my favorite, especially Wing Zero's with the wings and feathers and stuff like that. The Endless Waltz version. I like G Gundam because it's like the whole fighting thing. I like Gundam 00, which I like the story because the main character kind of reminds me of Hida Yui. Gundam Seed is one of those animes that I like only like halfway of Seed, and then like the second half of it, not the first half. But I definitely do like Freedom. Freedom was a very good movie, and I think that's actually one I want to rewatch again. So it's gonna be great. And also The Witch of Mercury. The Witch of Mercury has been a very great anime, and we have a female lead role. So that's one thing I like about it. I still haven't finished it. I need to finish it, so that's another thing. But I do also want to check out the Gundam. I think it's like GQX, I believe it is called, which I know AX has been talking about that and everything else. So yeah, so that's definitely one of those animes I do want to check out too. So I know that's actually finished as well. So I haven't got a chance to get around to it. And Funny Baby does not. Hey, be still, buddy. He cannot be still. Oh, my eye. Anyways, so yeah, so there's the news right there, you guys. So I definitely, if you find anything that catch your attention whatsoever, so yeah, definitely check it out. I actually have the link to this news, everything else whatsoever. So let's get into our main topic. So our main topic is basically focused on, we're going to be focusing on two things. One is going to be focusing on how AX itself, and then we're also going to talk about Bandai Namco as well, because the reason I have both of these in play, because Bandai Namco was actually at AX and they actually showed off some stuff, some animes. Like I said, Gundam was on the list whatsoever, and there was a lot of things to bring about. So I am going to talk about three specific things. Well, there's going to be 4 topics I'm going to bring up. This one, at the end of this whole thing, I am going to bring up one topic and just my opinion on a Pacific anime, and just my opinion on that whatsoever. That's be at the end. But let's get into the 3 main topics I want to bring up. Because one is something with AX, but it's not going to be focusing on it's going to be on a specific person that I'm a big fan. I'm still a big fan of his work and everything else, and I feel like without him, it just wouldn't be, that kind of situation. Let's see. So I believe I got to bring up the first 3. That's the topic. Actually, I think it may be 4. Hold on. I'm pulling them up right now. Give me a second. I got to find. Actually, there's a few I have on the list. Give me a second. I got to find. There it is. That's the one I was looking for. Okay. That was the one I was looking for, I think. Let me see. Is this the one? Yep, that's the one. All right, so here are the topics. I have them set in order. So the first one I had in there, no, that's the one I saved for last. All right. So for you guys, yeah, bye. Hi. Having fun? You having fun with Daddy? Saying hi to the people? Besides trying to destroy stuff? Saying hi to the people? Say hi. Yay. There you go. He's waving hi to you guys. Just saying hi. Anyways, all right, so let's get into the first thing of AX. So I'm going to read off some things because they have some. So shout outs to Anime News Network, because pretty much most of my news I find is like I try to not read everything, but just read certain pieces here and there. I've tried to paraphrase and everything else, so I don't want to get hit with like any kind of copyrights or anything else, but I do read from them because one, I didn't go to AX, and usually I would have my own opinion and what I think and different things of that. But I have to, I live where I'm at, and I have a son and everything else, so that's usually the case. So let's get into one of them. So one of the things they brought up. That's they broke up, buddy. That's what they broke up. Yeah. He is having a blast. Please enjoy as much of him as much as possible. He enjoys the attention. So, yeah, if you guys want to leave a comment, say hi to him and everything else, please, I will totally actually let him know with his funny self. So, enjoy as much as you can. Wave at him, say hi, say he's cute, different things like, hey, I'm all for it. He's here for the comments and stuff too, just like I am. But anyway, all right. So the first thing they brought up at AX was basically an anime that I have been watching, and I'm still reading the manga, just like another one that I will bring up later on. So basically, there's an anime on High Dive called The Dangers of My Heart. So I'm a big fan of this anime. I do like the story, how it's going. The manga, I am up to date with the manga, so I don't know, the next chapter came up, but I have to check and find out. But anyways, so High Dive and TV Asha presents The Dangers of My Heart movie season sneak peek. The Dangers of My Heart, and I'm not going to paraphrase, I'm just going to read out, not all of it, just certain pieces. So it says here, The Dangers of My Heart became one of my favorite animes of all time. So, which I agree with me as well. So, but this is not me reading it. I'm reading for someone else. Let's see. The Dangers of My Heart became one of my favorite animes of all time, and it was one of the best I've seen. I have been pleasure to review in the past a couple of years. While I think it ends perfectly, it turns out that there is still more stories to tell. At the beginning of 2026, we'll see the release of the Dangers of My Heart film, feature film. Yeah. So I'm just gonna stop on that part. I'm not gonna read the rest of it. So basically, we're getting announced. So basically, from this person, we're getting announced that we're getting a movie, and I feel like it's going to continue where it left off in season 2. So I'm actually looking forward to it. So they actually had they got a chance to see a sneak peek at AX. So AX has this thing where sometimes they'll give you sneak peeks of stuff. Sometimes they'll give you an actual movie. So like my experience I had the last time I went to AX, and it was in San Diego. Before I left, we had when Transformers came out, we got the first AX people, the people at AX or people who was actually at the convention were able to watch the live action Transformers movie before it came out in theaters. So I got to experience and see it before anyone got to see it in theaters, a day before, and that was actually very amazing. I enjoyed it, so I liked it very much. So that's one thing. So they always have these sneak peeks and special announcements and different things like that. And that's one of the things I like about AX, because they always come out with stuff that you would never expect. So there's that one. So if you guys have got a chance or did actually check out the anime and do like it, definitely check it out. If you have not, definitely check it out if you're into like the romance type whatsoever. But if you have been keeping up with it or reading the manga, you know. So that's that. And pretty much definitely I can't wait till we find out when this movie's coming out. So that's one thing. All right. Next, for all you Black Clover fans, and I know you're there, and if you're watching this whatsoever, AX and Crunchyroll finally let us know that we are going to be getting another season of Black Clover. So I know I have coworkers there are some coworkers who are a big fan. I know Vito and Sandstorm are definitely fans of Black Clover. I know they've been waiting for it. So I have not watched Black Clover. I haven't got a chance to get around to watch it. But now that I found out that we're getting a new season and stuff, so I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll definitely give this anime a chance. I'm not saying like I didn't like it. I will give it a chance because it's Black Clover. It's been, hyped, heavily talked about and everything else. So I'm definitely going to give this a chance. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I am going to give it a chance because it's one of those animes that I have not got a chance to check it out. So yeah, that's going to be very interesting for me to check out and whatsoever. So yeah, let's see what we got. So there's that one. Now, this one is something I'm actually excited for. Yes, this is a game, but it is anime as well, part of it, because it is part of Bandai Namco. So Digimon Story Time Strangers is looking like a formidable Pokemon competition. So here's the reason. So let me read a little bit of this so you understand what's going on. Okay, earlier this year, Bandai Namco announced Digimon Story Time Strangers, the latest entry in the Digimon Story series, would be coming in this October, which I can't wait. So definitely keep that on your mark. I think it's the middle, or it's either the middle or close to the end of October. So just mark that in your calendars if you're actually looking forward to it whatsoever. Anyways, yeah, buddy. While Digimon has enjoyed a sizable amount of popularity in the past, it's never reached the gargantuous heights of Pokemon fans. However, that doesn't stop Digimon from being unique, especially with its games. This is true. Because there's a difference between Pokemon gameplay of Pokemon and Digimon. Please understand that. So Pokemon, everybody's a big fan of Pokemon. I played the Pokemon games. I started getting back into it. I think once Arceus came out, I started getting back into the Pokemon games, and then ever since then, I've been trying to play, Sword and Shield. I forgot the latest installment before this new one comes out, and I forgot. And I actually have one of them. I can't remember what it's called. Anyways, so I actually have played the Pokemon games. I have not finished them. I just played them to my full extent. But again, when you have a son like this guy right here, it kind of becomes hard to play certain games. Just saying. And he's kind of been nice to me and let me play games, so that's actually a good sign. So, yeah, so I'm actually, but the Digimon game is actually different because the battle system is so different. Like, if you have not played the, what is it? I think it's Cyber Sleuth and Hacker Memories. If you have not played those, then you won't really understand the battle system whatsoever. But it takes the same battle system as those, but it's more upgraded, and they do change a lot of things. So I do recommend definitely that. It's still turn-based. It still has that. The Digi-evolving is a little bit more, I think it's more understanding compared to the original. Really, buddy? Are you getting comfy? You want to get comfy, buddy? Hold up. Let me see. Give me a second. I'll finish what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to get him comfy. Comfy, baby. Oh, you want to be comfy now? Hi. Or you just want to play? Okay, never mind. You just want to play. I thought he was getting comfy. You're not grabbing anything from there. What are you doing? Really? Really? He wants to play. Yeah, all right. So yeah. So yeah, I'm actually looking forward to this. There's a lot more to talk about with it, and Bandai Namco has done a good job with the stuff they talked about. I did do a video on the summer the summer showcase. There was a good amount of games I didn't like from it, but there's also a couple of games that I was kind of skeptical about, and some was like, okay, it's understandable. I know My Hero Academia definitely caught my attention. Definitely the Digimon game. Code Vein 2 definitely is one of my biggest things I want to go after next to the Digimon game. And I think there was one more, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, and Shadow Labyrinth. That's actually going to be coming out next week. So really, you're funny. You're funny. You're funny, baby. Hi. Yeah. Yeah. Shadow Labyrinth comes, and he's blocking me. Sorry. Shadow Labyrinth coming out next week, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. My game really, block me from that. Hi. You're just gonna block Daddy? You're gonna block Daddy from the camera? You're man. You hogging up the camera, buddy. He hogging up the camera. So yeah. So Shadow Labyrinth, like I said, Shadow Labyrinth is coming out next week. I'm looking forward to that. Once I get my hands on that, I think I'm gonna watch Secret Leveling, so to understand the story before playing Shadow Labyrinth, because it actually focuses on our good friend Pac-Man, also known as Puck. So we get to know what's going on with that and how that plays out, and I'm actually looking forward to it. So yeah, but I'm definitely looking forward to the Digimon Stories, Time Strangers, and the thing I have learned that you do not, and I repeat, you do not need to play Cyber Sleuth and Hacker Memories to understand the Time Strangers. You do not need to play those two to actually understand. There's no connection or anything else. It's a whole new game with a whole new concept and everything else. So there's that. All right. So the next thing I want to bring up, and this is actually something I was looking forward to, because as I was, I think, when was it? I think it was on. I think one day I was looking at clues and little bit videos and stuff of people posting of EX and everything else. And one of the things I noticed, there was something important that I liked. There was a Pacific person came out during a time, and he has been a great, and this man has been the greatest person in the world. I think without him, I would not be able to play certain Final Fantasy games whatsoever. I saw a video of him actually had a One Piece hat walking out and saw with a bunch of cosplayers dressed up as certain characters or their characters whatsoever. So if you don't know who I'm talking about, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. I'll tell you who it is. So apparently, the one and only who does Final Fantasy 14 and also who does Final Fantasy 11, Final Fantasy 14, and also Final Fantasy 16, the one and only Naoki Yoshida. Really? Mm-hmm. You gonna let me say it? Can I say it? Can I? Can I say it, buddy? Can I say it, Obi? I guess you let me say it. The one and only Naoki Yoshida. So, if you don't know, Naoki Yoshida was actually at Anime Expo. He was actually physically there. So, he was actually there talking about Final Fantasy 16. He does bring up a little bit of 14 as well, but there's some stuff he brings up about 16. So, one of the things, so this news here I have is someone actually got a chance to ask him, I think it was like five questions. And I'm only going to read 3 of the 5 questions. So I'm going to read the first 3 because these are actually very good questions. And, one is actually focused on 14. One's focused on 14. And 2 are focusing on, I think one's focused on 14, one's focused on 16, and one's focused on the future of Final Fantasy itself. So let's get into these questions, and let me get into this whole thing, and let me get him in a situation where I can actually read this in a nice position. Sit down. Boom. Hi, Tim. Thank you. Hi. Okay. So let me get into this. While leading to the questions. So it says here at Anime Expo 2025. Basically Anime News Network. So Anime News Network, again, shout out to Anime News Network for this. Got a chance to sit down with Final Fantasy 16 producer Naoki Yoshida to discuss how the series will progress in the future, as well as what he likes to accomplish in the next several years. So let's get into question number 1. The first question they asked him was this: when the recent release of Final Fantasy 16 on Xbox and the launch of Switch 2, has Square Enix future launch plans changed? Final Fantasy 16 was a launch exclusive to PS5. So will you go fully multi-platform for future Final Fantasy titles? So he says, and this is what he says. He says, for sure, this was also announced by our president and CEO, and I may butcher his name, Takeshiya Kiya. Our Square Enix strategist our Square Enix strategist is that we want to go multi-platform for all of our titles, as well as you have seen in terms of the title release from our Creative Studio 3. We announced Final Fantasy Tactics Evilise Chronicles. Evilise Chronicles will be released on September 30th, multi-platform. It is safe to assume that we will strive for multi-platform release moving forward. So let me give you a bit of a history. Real quick, so you guys understand. So if you don't know, Final Fantasy 1, 2, and 3 was originally on Super Nintendo. It was on the Nintendo platform. It was on Super Nintendo. So with 1, 2, and 3, including Mystic Quest. Including Mystic Quest. So those 4 games were on Super Nintendo. I don't know, and I think they also had put them on Game Boy as well. I think it was Game Boy or Game Boy. It was either Game Boy, Game Boy Color, or Game Boy Advance. 1 to 3 after that. So then after that, then PlayStation was the one who also had complete rights of the Final Fantasy series. When 7 came out, that's when the Final Fantasy series stayed into the PlayStation genre. So then, then 8 came out, 9 came out, for PlayStation 1. And then they came out with 4, 5, and 6 was originally 1, which was 1, 2, and 3. Chrono Trigger was also on there as well. So yeah, a lot of the Squaresoft / Square Enix games got onto PlayStation, and so it kept progressing from there on. So then when Final Fantasy 11 came out, came out for PC, but then if you had bought an extra part for PlayStation 2, you also got to play online on the PlayStation 2 for Final Fantasy 11. Then 14 came out. 14 was originally on PC, was PC only, and then they have released it on the PS3. And then after the I think it was the PS3. And then after the PS3 it came out for PS4, and then they moved it to PS5. So it's like, so it kept going from there. And then all of a sudden, when 16 came out, that's when they actually had 16 come out for Xbox, and then 14 was now going on Xbox as well. So it is actually moving to going into it. And then I think all of a sudden, now that we're getting the Final Fantasy Tactics remaster, it got announced for the Switch 2. So now it's actually coming for the Switch 2 and everything else. So I'm very excited that I'm happy that it's coming for it. Chill. So yeah, so they already was working on that whatsoever. So all right. So the second question, which is very interesting process of the question. So this is actually something I'm going to kind of explain a little bit here. All right. So it says here for the second question, they asked me, it says, there's a game called Clear Obadiah. I think I'm going to say this wrong. Basically, instead of saying the full thing, Expedition 33, basically, is the question they're asking. So there's a game called Expedition 33 that has a lot of critically acclaimed and successful sales. One of the things that stood out about the game was its turn-based combat. Expedition 33 was inspired by games like Final Fantasy and Persona. I know that you said in the past that Final Fantasy XVI's more action-based combat was sort of a natural progression or way of keeping up with the modern gaming. But with the success of Expedition 33, do you think that's possibly mainline Final Fantasy games could go back to being a turn-based, as they seem to be something the players have an appetite for? I know where this question is going, and I kind of have an idea. I'm not going to paraphrase what Yoshi-P was saying because I have an idea, but I will read what he just said. So he says in this, with this question of turn-based versus action, it tends to isolate the gameplay to just the battle system. That doesn't take into account what kind of game the creators want to deliver to players. For example, based on the certain graphics quality we want to present to our players, or the narrative we want to deliver to our players. And again, please apologize. Again, my eyes are a little wonky because I'm trying to read certain things. Players. It relates to how we set up the game system around it. This includes the battle system, game design, and gameplay feels. It's not a clear-cut answer whether it will become all turn-based or if it's going to become more action-based. I'm, in parentheses, not necessarily going to be on Final Fantasy XVII, so we also don't want to obstruct or limit our future directors or whoever will be producing the next game, like 17 or even 18. We don't want to put them on a rail. Basically, is saying is that for us as players who are fans of either action RPGs, whether it's turn-based, action-based, whatever the situation is, we need to stop coming to and this, don't quote me on this or anything else. I'm just saying this is what I think what he's saying. And, this is not clear cut or anything else, but I look at it from the perspective we as fans need to stop. Really, you need to stop, buddy. Why are you hitting the back of my arm? Chill. Anyways, what was I saying? Us as fans, that we need to stop trying to not say criticize. It's just that we need to stop hoping that we're going to get that if 17 becomes turn-based, people are going to not like it whatsoever. So I will take a prime example, and he's not here, and I'm not trying to bash him, ridicule him, or anything else. He's great friend and everything else, and and it's like I'm bringing up Vito for a perfect example because he has played Expedition 33, beaten it, and everything else. He's been asking me to play it, and I actually have it. I'm still at the very beginning of the game whatsoever. Because me and him do talk, we do work together and everything else. He did bring up to me that one of the things he did not like was the turn-based. He liked the story, he liked the concept, everything else whatsoever. He did not like the turn-based. But then he beat the game. So it took him some time to get used to turn-based when it's not one of his biggest things. But he beat it. He beat the game. He likes it. It's very dark and everything else. And when I was having a discussion with him about it, I told him that I was watching a video on YouTube and it was talking about the top 10 best dark stories for RPGs and stuff like that. And I know one of them he had on the list. I forgot the name of the person. Shout outs to him. He talked about there was one game he brought on Tales the Bizarria, which is one of my favorites. I beat it. I loved it because of the dark story. It's different from the Tales series whatsoever. But there was one game he brought up, and I was like, oh, I forgot about this game. Called Shadow Hearts. Shadow Hearts has this very interesting mechanic. It's a dark story and everything else, but they had this one interesting mechanic where you have to time certain spots. Once you hit certain spots, you can actually do the combos, and then leads into the crit, and can go into the attack or do crit hits or different things like that. So if timed correctly, you have to time certain buttons. So Expedition 33 had that concept as well, where you had to time certain buttons to actually do, the actual attack, to do crit hits or basically parry. So that's literally how it is. And I mean, that was a very interesting concept and interesting mechanic. So I'm actually very excited for it. And I definitely think it's going to be I was very skeptical about it because I didn't know what it was about. But from hearing from Vito and telling me about it, so I was like, all right, bet I'm actually going to get this. So I have it, and it's actually it's a great game. I definitely recommend it. If you definitely like dark stories and everything else, and definitely check it out. So I mean, that's really how I interpret it whatsoever. So the last question is something dear to my heart because if you have been playing Final Fantasy XIV, and he's mostly known for this because every time you have to understand when Yoshi-P is here, people are going to ask the questions about 14. And when it comes to 14, there's always going to be some hidden gems or hidden secrets where it's either a clue about a new job coming out or different things like that. So definitely pay attention. So this is my final question that we're going to read off. So the question says, what plans do you have for Final Fantasy XIV after Dawn Trail last year? Where do you want to take the game, or what are some dear ideas you like to explore? So he says, to share about our creative process, the team and I usually plan very far in advance. Right now, we're in expansion 7. Really? You gonna bite my neck? You gonna bite my shoulder? Wow, he's literally just biting my shoulder. He just literally bit my shoulder. You can already see the wet mark. See? There's that wet mark. He just bit my shoulder. Chill. Stop biting Daddy. You need to stop biting him. Chill. Anyways, where was I? Okay. Right now, we're in expansion 7.0 Dawn Trail, but we already have a general idea of plans up to 10.0, which is we're at 0.7. We have 3 more. He has 3 more expansions. He got ready to go. It says we're working towards a framework that we have built ourselves. That being said, we also have our story from the original 1.0 Final Fantasy XIV through our previous Endwalker expansion 6.0. Let's see, and that's not going away. That's not going away. That's still going to be there. For a general perspective, we will take Dawntrail as our next roller coaster. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs and exciting stories that you can expect out of this and future release as well. So, okay. So I'm going to use me as a prime example because I have played this game. I have played up to Endwalker, which is the final installment. I done up to the 6.0. I actually got to see the story, played it all the way through from start to finish. I played since 2.0. Not did 1.0. There are people who played 1.0, but I played up to 2.0. I started at 2.0 and played all the way through to 6.1, I think. So I stopped there because Obadiah was being born. And, well, no. I stopped before Obadiah was born. I stopped when I had started working night shifts. When I started working night shifts, I couldn't really play it because with the FC I was actually in, I was also one of the FC officers. And I couldn't really do it because I worked at night. And everybody that gets on at night, I couldn't really play. It was just a lot of things happened. And then as days gone by, Obadiah was being born. I didn't have the time to play. It was just like, I couldn't do it. So I do miss playing it. I just do miss the stories and everything else and learning things whatsoever. So I'm going to be super duper rusty when I kind of get back into it. So yeah, it's a great game. I love it for what it is, and I do like the jobs and they had and everything else. And I used to be the jack of all trades, second to none. Learned all the jobs from crafting to gathering, from healing to tank to playing a tank, playing a melee DPS, a ranged DPS, a magic DPS. Different things like that. I learned all the classes, played them all, enjoyed them, what they were, and always loved to kind of change it up. Like when I first played it, I was actually originally, I couldn't figure out what class I was. I actually been in raids and different things. Did the tank role. I done other class, and then then things didn't work out the way I planned it because of my scheduling and different things. I didn't understand the concept of raiding and stuff and being like other team and being on the set schedule. So I didn't understand that. Then when a Pacific Jaw came out during the 2.0 era, a class called Ninja came out, and I fell in love with that class. That has been my main. I played it. I had help with certain things. I've done certain things. I got to beat the jobs, took time to study different things like that, and it was great. And that's what got me into the whole raid scene and learning and stuff like that. So I became Ninja, done that, and then next expansion came out, did Ninja. And then I was staying to that class, and then all of a sudden it ended up, I was still learning the ins and outs of being, in the raids and different things like that. So it was a lot of expected things happen. So, but I enjoyed playing, learning the raid and different things like that. So I learned a lot from it. So it was great. So I do miss it, and I would love to go back and play it, but again, life comes first, and he comes first more than anything. Obi comes first. So yeah, so those are the things I got for AX. So there is one bonus topic I want to bring up, and this is actually something I'm a little mad about. So, and I have watched people, on YouTube talk about this specific anime, and I'm super mad about it because this is actually one of the anticipated animes I really want to watch. So I do want to do a bit of a little bit of a rant just to add on to it. And then after that, we're going to get into our trailers. I have 3 trailers to go through that we're going to check out. So the last thing I'm going to talk about is there's an anime I've been anticipating. We were supposed to be getting this in the spring. It didn't come out. We're now supposed to be getting the summer. And then now a certain thing happened. So there's an anime called The Fragrant Flower Bloom with Dignity. I think I may say that incorrectly. So this anime has been one of the biggest hype animes I've been waiting for. People have been wanting. It is a drama anime, but I've been super duper hyped about this I have been reading the manga. I am still into the manga. The manga is still going. There's still stuff happening. I'm at a certain point with it, which I need to finish reading it. That's definitely one of those things. Let me see. Sorry, I'm keeping track of time for specific reasons. So yeah, I'm looking forward. So I was looking forward to it. I was like, yo, I'm gonna check this out. Last week I was like, yo, it's out. Let's check it out. Let's go. So the topic here is basically saying that the fragrant flower blooms in Dignity, I think it's called. I may say it wrong. TV anime debut on Netflix outside Japan on September 7th. So what does actually mean? So let me read a little more and I'll explain the details of what's happening. So Netflix announced at Anime Expo, this leads to the other topic, on Saturday that it will be streaming the television anime Sakia Mikama. I think I'm saying that right. I might say it wrong. I do apologize. The Fragrant Flower Blooms anime outside of Japan starting on September 7th with new episodes streaming weekly. The release will include an English dub. There's an update. Animation Network can confirm the series is listed as previewed in Netflix in some Southeast Asia countries on July 13th. Netflix also has the clip and everything else. Anyways, so I'm not going to read the rest of that part, but there's something I want to talk about here. And this is, again, I'm very was anticipating this anime. I really was like, want to watch this. I love the story. I heard about it, read it, and then I didn't get a chance to finish it. And then I went back and listened to it again, then read where it left off, and still reading it. Where I'm at in the manga is it got very interesting because we're learning about certain characters' futures. Certain things like that. So it's one of those things. So the thing that makes me mad, what the heck? Okay, no, sorry, I thought something happened to him. Yeah. So one of the things that that kind of makes me mad is that we've been waiting for this. Like a lot of people has been waiting for this anime. We've been waiting for since it got announced. We have literally been waiting for this anime for the longest, and to actually have it finally now get to watch it now, it's literally gone to Netflix. So I'm looking on Crunchyroll, I'm looking on High Dive, I'm looking on Hulu, I'm looking everywhere for this. And then the final is on Netflix. Now, me with Netflix, it's one of those things where it's it's hard for me to watch anime on Netflix. I mean, we have the wrong one have remake, and I still have not watched that yet. Sakamoto Days is on there. I haven't even checked that out yet. There's a lot of animes on there that I would want to watch. But Netflix is one of those things where it's hard for me to watch anime on it. It really is. So to actually get it on Netflix and not Crunchyroll or Hulu or High Dive or any of that stuff, it's why? Why would you put it there? It's one of those things where I don't really pay attention to Netflix like that. I don't. So this is gonna be very hard for me to watch this anime on there. It really is. And I mean, not because it's Netflix, it's just because I'm not on Netflix as I used to be. For a prime example, Dantadan is on, not only Dantadan is on Crunchyroll, but it's on Netflix as well. Just like Dragon Ball Daima. It's on Crunchyroll, but it's on Netflix. It's animes that are basically on one platform that we gotta watch on another platform. It's no. It's come on. So it's the last anime I ended up watching that I have not finished because I was on the second half. I just started the second season of it. Was called Bastard. Yeah, and I do apologize for my name, but yeah, that's really the last thing I ended up watching. So it's kind of really. So it's kind of hard to just literally go into this. I mean, granted, I'm still gonna watch it. I'm still gonna check it out. I will try the best of my abilities to watch it, but I'm going to watch it. But I have to wait till September 7th and not tomorrow or Sunday. It's one of those things. So I kind of, it's one of those things. So I have a little bit of a gripe to it, but I mean, I understand it a bit. I mean, giving it a chance to wait and everything because I have all these other animes to check out, it makes sense. But this is one of those things I kind of want to just like watch easily, hands down. So, but that's it for the main topic and everything else. If you guys have any comments or anything you want to leave a comment, if there's anything you want to say or whatsoever about what I broke up and everything else, please definitely leave a comment down below and everything else. So let's get into these trailers. There's only 3 I'm going to be checking out. So let's see. What's this? Let me bring this up. Give me a second while I'm setting everything up. There it is. All right. So, and boom. Here we go. All right. So the first trailer we're going to be checking out is called The Holy Grail of Arrow. So let's check it out.
これからの人生をかけて私の復讐を成功させなさい。スカーレット・カスティエルといえば希代の悪女セシリアに毒を仕込んだ罪で処刑されたけど、そんな地味なことこの私がするわけないじゃないの。つまり冤罪？お前の役目は真犯人を見つけ出し、そんなこと私には必ずどこかに手がかりを残したはずよ。鍵？これはエリスの聖杯を破壊しろ。準備はよくてコンスタンス。楽しい宴の始まりだわ。あなたとんでもないことをしてくれたわ。あなたなんてただの泥棒じゃない。
これは一体何の騒ぎかな。
どちらが泥棒なのかしらね。あら、ごきげんよう。この女は誰なの。
本当に君は関係がないと言えるのか。
夫人のひまわりの誠実なだけじゃよく何も解決しない。キリキキリクク少しでも反応したらとっても悪い人だから。殺されたということ。
コンスタンス・グレイ、君の目的は何だ。
あの女は普通じゃないのよね。招待状ジョン・ドゥ伯爵の帽子の中。10年前どうしてスカーレットが処刑されたのかご存知ですか。呪われろ貴様ら全員呪われるがいい。
Baby. All right. All right. So, what do you think of that, Obi? What do you think of that? Think it's gonna be good? Huh?
Bob.
Anything else? Nothing else? I guess that's it. All right. So yeah, I may actually said it. So I do apologize if I actually said the name wrong. So I think it's Elsa. I think it's called the Holy Grail Elsa. I kept saying Arrow, but I do apologize. I think it's Elsa. So I could be wrong. I could be right. Don't quote me. Don't bite my head off. Everything of that. Pause. Anyways, yeah. So this anime actually looks interesting to me. I do like. Again, I'm a big fan of mystery animes, and mystery animes are usually one of those things that kind of catch my attention whatsoever. So, because I'm always like to know what's going on, what's happening, how everything plays out, what leads the story to what it is. And it's usually the first episode is like where the mystery starts. Hi. So, yeah, so I definitely am going to be checking it out when it comes out. So I don't know when, but we'll keep tabs of it and see what happens. Let me see. Let's get into our next trailer. Sorry, trying to make sure I got that up and running. All right, so our next trailer is going to be, and I may butcher this name, so I'm going to try my best. Toa no Yagura. Hi, funny baby. What? You see something? You see something? So yeah, so this is actually a teaser. So let's check out. And again, apologize if I say this incorrectly. Toa no Yagura. Sorry, I'm hearing noise in the background. Might be something else. But anyways, Oh, let's get rid of that real quick. All right, so then that. What you doing, buddy? You just moving around. Shake the head. There you go. Shake. Hi. So, all right. So this one actually does look interesting. I kind of need a little bit more on this one because I don't know if this is like, a video game kind of situation, going to like a virtual world, different things like that. You need to chill. Yeah. What the? Hey, stop. Ooh, I see something caught my attention. That looks interesting. Yeah, I may see that for the next trailer. So I got Funny Baby just not want to hold still. So yeah, definitely gonna have to wait till we get a little bit more info on that one, so I can kind of make a final decision on it. It looks interesting to me, but I think I need a little bit more info just to kind of say, do I actually like it or not? All right. So on to our final trailer, which this is something I literally have been waiting for more than anything, and I've been waiting for this. So the final trailer we're going to be getting into is going to be none other than Mushoku Tensei's Jobless Reincarnation Season 3. I have been waiting for this. So let's check it out. Alright. And there, let's see, make sure any other surprises. Yep, okay. Yep. Alright. And there it is. So, if you have not seen this anime, this is actually a very, very good anime. I have read the manga, which is kind of funny. This is based off the light novel. The manga has not caught up with the anime, so I already know how this ends and how everything's set up, but I also got spoiled and know what happens after what happened in the anime. So this is actually pretty good, and plus to see I forgot her name because it's been a while because she don't usually pop up as much, but like hearing from her and everything else. So if you know who she is. I can't really reveal who she really is and what she is afterwards and everything else, then you'll understand. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this. I was very skeptical when I first seen this because the first episode was an hour long, and I was like, okay, don't know what's going on, but I kept hearing good things about this. And I was like, all right, let me give it a shot. And sure enough, I literally went in and binged it and got up to date with the anime and how it played out. And then I guess the second half of season 2 came out, and I was like, all right, cool, let's go into it. So I'm actually very excited for it. I'm very happy to see it getting a third season, and we do have somewhat of a release date. It's coming out in 2026. We don't know if it's the beginning, the middle, or the end. So we don't know if it's going to be the winter, the spring, the fall, or no, sorry, the winter, the spring, the summer, or the fall. We do not know if it's going to be any of the four. We don't know, right, buddy? Exactly. Like you said. Blah, 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 blah. Like you said. So, other than that, guys, that will be all for us today. I definitely appreciate you guys coming in. If you do definitely like these trailers, I will have again at the end of this whole thing. I will actually have a time step as soon as this comes up and running. So what are my plans? So what's the plans for Noonami? So as of right now, I'm in the middle of actually working. As you can see in the upper right hand corner, I have made a new logo, Noonami. So I'm still kind of playing around with it whatsoever. So you're gonna be seeing some changes here and there. I do have a new background. So again, there's a lot of things I've been messing around with. New backgrounds, new starting and ending videos and stuff like that. Yeah, so it's been a good amount of stuff here. I don't know what the next topic is going to be. I haven't figured it out yet. But there's that. Also, I am still in the process of doing streaming of Liza P. So I'm still working on that. So I don't know when that's going to be done, because I know the next game I'm going to be working on is going to be the Shadow Labyrinth, which comes out next week. So as soon as I get that, I will work on. I think I'll end up playing that as soon as I finish Liza P DLC. So definitely stay tuned to that. I've basically been doing lives of those with him, with Obadiah, because he been having a field day and beating me up and laughing at me getting killed by enemies and stuff, which is actually interesting. So sometimes you may see or actually hear the fiance come into play as well. So she may come in and actually say some stuff too. So definitely look at that. Definitely the Vitoverse is actually going to be next week. So I don't know what the topic is going to be on him that. So I'll find out from Vito what it is. He's been more focusing on Vito music. The Vito various music. So he's definitely got a couple of stuff up. I think the latest one he has up is actually focusing on the Clip's new song, one of the songs that came out, or the album that came out, which is on Let God Sell Them Out from the Clips. I think he already has a video up for Chains and Whips with the Clips featuring Kendra Lamar, so definitely check that out whatsoever. I know he's going to be having a lot more stuff to come out with that, so definitely check him out there. Also, the Sandstorm Rebirth, I believe he's going to be doing at 7:30 as normal time, so I don't know what the topic is going to be. I believe it may be more on Switch 2, or it might be on the new Donkey Kong game that's going to be coming out very soon. With their inputs and different things like that. I don't know, but it's going to be something with mostly focused on Nintendo Switch too. Then we have on Sundays, I believe, is the Winged Podcast. I forgot. I think their times are I forgot their actual times. I think it's 7:30. I could be wrong. So there's that. And then Mondays, the juice is loose. So they're gonna have their topics there on Monday. So definitely check them guys out, and definitely check out our affiliations whatsoever. Shout outs to, like I said, Vito, Sandstorm, Jay from the Winged Podcast, Geronimo, Action Jack, Vicky the Fangirl. Definitely check them out whatsoever. I will actually have their links and everything else to check them out. And like I said, until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Want to say bye, buddy? Hold on. Want to say bye to everyone? Want to say bye? Say bye. Say bye. Say bye-bye. You just give me a smile. Say bye-bye, buddy. Bye-bye. 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 Want to say bye? Nah, he just give me a smile. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.